They say peace is the ultimate luxury, and for years, I've been soaking in it, far from the grind of courtrooms and legal briefs. My name's Caleb Harrow, 42, a former lawyer who swapped suits for hiking boots. My dad, a quiet man who cherished solitude and the wild, bought a sprawling 400-acre chunk of Colorado highlands in the 80s. Picture pine trees whispering over rocky slopes, a crystal lake reflecting the sky. When he passed, he left it to mem-apps, deeds, journals, the works. He loved that land. So do I. I sit a few times a year to fish, hike, or just sit on the rickety dock, lost in thought. Most of it's untouched, deliberately so 60 acres are a protected nature reserve, home to elk migrations. The rest? Pure freedom, mine to roam, mine to keep. My name's on every document, clear as day. No HOA, no neighbors, just me and the wilderness. So when a certified letter landed in my mailbox from a local notary, I opened it with a shrug. What could be urgent about land I hadn't touched since autumn? The words hit like a punch. A 12,000-square-foot mansion, complete with a tennis court, pool, and private road, had been built on my property on parcel 49C, to be exact. The owner? Lillian Carver. Approved by some High Ridge Pines Homeowners Association. My heart sank. Parcel 49C? That was my land, my dad's favorite ridge, where we'd camp under the stars. I tore through my files, maps, and deeds. No sale, no lease, no transfer. My name was still on the title. This had to be a mistake. I called the county recorder, hand shaking. After 32 minutes on hold, a bored voice confirmed the impossible. Parcel 49C was registered to Lillian Carver, title transferred 5 years ago via a power of attorney. 5 years ago, Dad had been gone for 7. My pulse thundered. Someone had built a palace on my land, and the system called it legal. I was in my truck within 20 minutes, barreling toward the mountains. The closer I got, the tighter my chest felt. My land didn't feel like mine anymore. As I neared the northern trail, I saw a freshly paved road, sleek and out of place, snaking through where deer tracks used to be. Asphalt instead of grass. Trees cleared, hills terraced. And there, on my dad's ridge, stood a gaudy white mansion, like a resort plopped in the wilderness. Stone columns, fountains, a circular driveway, it even had a valet box. A 10-foot iron gate blocked the entrance, stamped with a gold-plated logo, High Ridge Pines HOA. My land, gated off like a country club. I parked, heart pounding, and marched to the intercom. 2 security guards stepped out, one built like a linebacker, the other with a hand twitching near a taser. "Can we help you?" the big one asked, voice dripping with authority. "You're on my property," I snapped. "I am Caleb Harrow. This ridge, this slope, it's mine. I want to talk to whoever built this." The second guard smirked, tapping a tablet. "Records say this belongs to Ms. Lillian Carver. You're not on the VY side of list. Leave." Heat surged behind my ears. "I own this land. I've got the deeds in my truck. No one sold anything." The big guard stepped closer. "Sir, trespassing's a crime. Leave, or we call the cops." "Trespassing? On my own land?" I gripped the gate, jaw clenched, but I knew better than to push. "Tell Lillian Carver Caleb Harrow was here," I said, voice ice cold. "This isn't over." They didn't blink. I backed off, the gate closing behind me like a slap. I didn't sleep that night, pacing a cramped Airbnb in town, maps sprawled across the table like a battlefield. No sale, no transfer, yet a mansion stood on my soil. The next morning, after a dozen unanswered calls to the HOA, I got through. A posh voice said Lillian was free that afternoon. I told them the real owner was coming. I arrived early, ready to face the thief who'd stolen my legacy. The gates groaned open, and there she was, Lillian Carver, dressed like she was heading to a gala, white suit, silk scarf, and a cloud of floral perfume. She extended a hand, smiling like we were old friends. "Mr. Harrow, I've been expecting you." "Good." I shot back, ignoring her hand. "Then you know why I'm here." She waved at a table, a leather folder open to a notarized power of attorney, me dad's signature, dated 2018, 3 years after he died. My stomach churned. "This is fake," I said, voice tight. "My dad passed in 2015. She laughed. airy and dismissive. A delayed filing, perhaps. Estates are messy. I'm not mistaken, I said, colder. I have the death certificate, the title chain. You're squatting on stolen land. Her eyes flashed at stolen, but her smile held. Caleb, she said like she owned me, I run the zoning board, the HOA, 3 real estate committees. Fight me, you'll lose expensively. I leaned in. You forged my dad's signature. She grinned. Prove it. I walked away, her smugness burning into me. She'd underestimated the wrong man. I wasn't just angry, I was on fire. Lillian wanted a war. I'd give her one. I called Sarah Vance, my old litigation buddy, a lawyer who could shred a witness and make it look easy. Got a mansion built on a go signature. I told her. I'm in, she said, no hesitation. Next, I roped in Marcus Lee, a geospatial analyst who'd mapped war zones and now busted illegal builds with drones. Send the coordinates, he said. I'm there by dawn. Then there was Nora Blake, a private investigator with a knack for digging up secrets. We going after someone untouchable, she asked. Queen of the HOA with a felony-sized ego, I said. I'll bring snacks, she replied. We met a dive cafe, the kind where no one snoops. Marcus showed drone scans me ridge, untouched in 2016, clear-cut by 2019, the mansion's foundation crossing into Federal Reserve land. Sarah whistled. That's a double felony. Nora laid out records. No sale, no escrow, just a shady Nevada shell company and a notary who'd retired. Marcus's drone caught the pool, spilling 20 feet into protected land. Sarah grinned like a predator. Let's hit her with cameras. 2 days later, we rolled up drone overhead, a local reporter in tow, and a USB packed with EVY Denke. Sarah led, slamming a cease and desist letter on the guards. We're here for inspection under the Land Use Act. They blinked, radios crackling. Nora recorded, the reporter snapped photos, and the drone caught it all. That night, the county froze the property, halting construction and suspending the HOA. The paper ran a headline, Luxury Mansion Built on Stolen Land. It felt like blood in the water. The courthouse was a stone fortress, and the trial felt like a gladiator fight. Sarah was calm, deadly calm. Lillian swept in like royalty white dress, huge sunglasses, and, bizarrely, roses. Roses pinned to her lapel, woven in her hair, clutched in her hands. The scent hit me hard. I'm allergic to rose sepipin level allergic. I'd mentioned it once in a local EW years ago. She'd remembered. My throat tightened, my skin burned. I tried to focus, but my VY sound blurred. Sarah caught me as I stumbled. Paramedics rushed in, court adjourned. Lillian played innocent, asking about florists. I was Lee VYD, but insisted the trial wait for me. That night, as I recovered, a knock came. Lillian, smiling, let herself in. Terrible misunderstanding today, she purred, setting a case on the table. She opened it, Dula, $1.5 million in cash. Sign this, it all goes away. The document? A gift deed, handing her my entire 400 acres. You can't win, she whispered. I opened the door. Get out. She left the papers, unaware my phone had recorded everything. In court, we played the tape. Lillian's voice smooth, damning filled the room. You'll lose, Caleb. Might as well make money. The judge's face went stone cold. Sarah laid out the rest. Forged signatures, deleted emails. HOA funds funneled to Lillian's projects. Marcus's drone footage showed the mansion VY OLADing federal land. Witness Essa crying HOA treasurer, a fine neighbor, an elderly couple exposed Lillian's tyranny. I took the stand, stared her down. I didn't want this fight, I said. But when someone steals your legacy, you don't walk away. The judge ruled. The land was mine, Lillian guilty of fraud, bribery, and trespass. The HOA was dissolved, its assets frozen. Lillian was escorted out, mascara streaking, cameras flashing. The crowd buzzed, some apologized. One guy even offered to buy the mansion. Not yet, I said. Let it sit. Weeks later, I threw a barbecue on my land. Not for pride, but to reclaim it. Ex-HOA members brought potato salad. The former treasurer a Jell-O mold with an apology. Marcus flew his drone for the kids, Sarah framed the ruling, and Nora reenacted Lillian's bribe with sock puppets. I kept the mansion, planning a property rights retreat. An old neighbor toasted to Caleb for standing his ground against clipboards and too much perfume. Under the stars, with cedar smoke and laughter, I looked over my dad's landmine again. Justice didn't wear a robe. It smelled like brisket and sang off-key at sunset. And damn, it felt good.